Welcome to the podcast, the Cultural Decoder series. I am your host, Grace. Imagine the scene. You're at a beautiful evening event, perhaps a gallery opening or a charity gala. The air is filled with the low hum of cultured conversation and the clinking of champagne flutes. You've spent the last 20 minutes engaged in a fascinating discussion with a high-status British couple whose understated elegance and sharp wit are truly captivating. As you prepare to leave, they smile warmly, their eyes crinkling just so, and say, "It's been such a pleasure. You simply must come over for dinner sometime soon." The words hang in the air, a perfect, polished promise. You leave feeling a sense of accomplishment, a social success. You replay the conversation in your mind, confident that you've made a genuine connection. You start to imagine the dinner party, the fine food, the stimulating conversation. But the invitation, that concrete email or text with a date and time, never arrives. A week passes, then two. The warmth of the promise fades, leaving a phantom chill of confusion. Why? Because you didn't fail the conversation. You failed to decode the ghost invitation. This is not merely a social misstep, it is a profound cultural misreading. Today we are going to dissect the intricate psychology of British social harmony. And for my dedicated scholars preparing for the IELTS examinations, pay exceptionally close attention. Mastering what linguists call pragmatic competence, the ability to understand the subtext, the unspoken meaning behind the words, is the secret bridge between a commendable Band 7 and a masterful Band 9. It is the difference between fluency and true command. In many cultures, particularly in North America or Germany for instance, honesty is the highest form of respect. Directness is clarity. It is a gift of efficiency. If someone from these cultures doesn't wish to see you again, they will either say nothing or they might offer a polite but clear, "It was nice to meet you." But for the British elite and much of British society at large, the highest form of respect is the preservation of social harmony. To a Brit, telling someone directly or even implying, "I don't particularly want to see you again," is a grave social sin. It creates what is known as friction, an awkwardness, a social rupture that must be avoided at all costs. It is considered deeply unkind to make someone feel rejected. To avoid this friction, they offer the ghost invitation. It is a masterpiece of social engineering, a gift, a beautifully wrapped empty box. It allows both parties to part ways with warm feelings intact, preserving the pleasantness of the moment. In their mind, they are being profoundly kind by sparing you the discomfort of rejection. To the uninitiated, it can feel like a lie, but to the scholar, it is a crucial status signal and a cultural data point. In your IELTS speaking exam, particularly in the abstract discussions of Part 3, being able to articulate this level of cultural nuance, for instance, when discussing politeness or communication styles across cultures, is precisely how you demonstrate the full operational command of the language that examiners are searching for. It shows you understand not just what is said, but why it is said. So how can we, as scholars of communication, learn to spot these phantoms? Let's break down the anatomy of the ghost invitation. We must listen not just to the words, but for the subtle signals embedded within the phrasing. Listen for what I call the Trinity of tells. Tell number 1, the simply modifier. Notice they say, "You simply must come over." The word simply is an intensifier that paradoxically often serves to weaken the statement's sincerity. It adds a layer of theatricality, a fake urgency that signals this is a performance of politeness, not a genuine logistical planning session. In your exam, using such intensifiers appropriately Words like simply, utterly, or terribly can indeed boost your lexical resource score by adding emphasis. The film was simply marvellous. But in the subtle theatre of British social life, it is often a beautifully painted piece of stage scenery. A real invitation sounds more grounded. We'd love to have you for dinner. Are you free next Friday? The urgency is replaced by practicality. Tell number 2, the sometime clause. This is the legal and social escape hatch. By saying sometime soon, they have fulfilled the requirement of being warm and welcoming without committing a single minute of their actual finite time. It is beautifully, elegantly vague. Sometime has no fixed point on the calendar. Soon is relative. It could mean next week or next year. The rule is simple. If there is no specific day or date mentioned, there is no dinner. A genuine host is already thinking about their schedule. They will say, "How about next month?" Or, "I'll check my diary and send you some dates." The sometime clause is the polite equivalent of smoke, allowing the issuer to vanish without a trace. And now for our third tell, which is perhaps the most subtle. Tell number 3, the lack of reciprocal inquiry. When an invitation is genuine, it is the beginning of a conversation, not the end of one. After a real invitation is extended, the host will immediately seek information from you. They might ask, "Do you live nearby?" Or, "Are you vegetarian?" Or, "What sort of food do you enjoy?" This is the logistical dance of true hospitality. The absence of these questions is a powerful sign. If they offer the invitation and then seamlessly transition to saying goodbye without waiting for your response or asking a follow-up question, you can be almost certain the invitation was a beautiful, hollow gesture. It was a concluding statement, not an opening offer. Recognizing these tells is only half the battle. To carry true authority, your own delivery and response must match your strategic understanding. Now, let's enter the linguistic lab. Here, we refine not just what you say, but how you say it. We call this powerful technique aristocratic understatement. It is the vocal equivalent of quiet confidence. Many students preparing for fluency exams make the mistake of thinking that speed equals fluency. They rush their words, believing it signals comfort with the language. The opposite is true. The elite, the truly confident, own the space between the words. They use pauses not as moments of hesitation, but as tools of emphasis. When you are practicing this, take a phrase like "sometime soon." Don't over-enunciate with sharp, crisp sounds. The S in sometime should be softened, not a sharp hiss, but a gentle, breathy release. The U vowel in soon should be slightly elongated and lowered in pitch, almost as if you are musing on the concept of time itself. Sometime, soon. It's relaxed. It's unhurried. It signals that you are in control of the conversation, not at its mercy. Try this now. Record yourself saying the phrase. First, quickly. Sometime soon. Now, with aristocratic understatement. Sometime soon. Hear the difference. One is desperate, the other is dominant. When you find yourself in the high-pressure environment of an IELTS interview, resist the urge to rush your vowels or clip your consonants. When the examiner asks a complex question, take a deliberate, calm breath. Slowing down to emphasize a nuanced point, using a longer vowel or a strategic pause, shows the examiner you aren't just reciting a pre-rehearsed script. You are actively thinking and formulating a sophisticated response in the language of the elite. This control over your prosody, the rhythm and intonation of your speech, is a hallmark of advanced fluency. So, you have identified the ghost invitation. Your intellect is armed. Now, How do you handle this delicate situation with grace and power? You have 3 scholar-level moves at your disposal, each designed for a different strategic outcome. Move number 1 is the polite retreat. This is your default harmony-preserving option. You simply mirror their move. They have offered a polite, empty gesture. You accept it with equal grace. You say, "That's so kind of you, I'd love to." And you leave it there. The psychological reasoning is simple. You are acknowledging their gesture at face value, which allows them to feel they have been a good host. You both exit the conversation having successfully played the game of manners. No one loses face. This move is perfect for situations where you have no strong desire to see the person again, but wish to maintain a pleasant, neutral relationship. Sample dialogue. They say, "You simply must come for dinner." You smile warmly and respond, "That's terribly kind. I'd love that." And then you change the subject or make your exit. Game, set, match. Move number 2 is the power move. This is for the strategist who genuinely wants to build a connection and is willing to take a calculated social risk. Do not chase their ghost. Chasing, sending a message the next day saying, "So, when is that dinner?" is a fatal error. It exposes their polite fiction and creates immense friction, marking you as socially inept. Instead, you wait a strategic 48 to 72 hours. Then you send a brief, confident note. It might say, "It was such a pleasure speaking with you on Tuesday. I was so interested in your thoughts on modern architecture. I'm hosting a small gathering for drinks on the 20th. Would you and your husband be free to join?" The psychology here is brilliant. You have completely flipped the script. You have moved from the passive role of invitee to the powerful role of host. You are no longer waiting for their call. You are extending your own concrete invitation. This demonstrates high status and confidence. You are not asking for a seat at their table. You are inviting them to yours. And finally, move number 3, the test. This is a high-risk, high-reward move and should only be used when you are reasonably certain the invitation might be genuine, or when you are willing to force the issue for clarity. When they say, "You must come for dinner sometime soon," you smile, pull out your phone, and say with a breezy confidence, "I would absolutely adore that. I have my diary right here. What sort of date were you thinking?" Now, watch their reaction carefully. This is the moment of truth. If the invitation was genuine, they will be delighted by your efficiency. They might say, "Oh, wonderful, let's see, we have a gap in 2 weeks' time." But if it was a ghost invitation, you will witness the politeness loop. They will stutter, their eyes will widen slightly, and they will retreat into vagueness. "Oh, well, things are just so terribly busy at the moment, but we'll certainly be in touch." They will not commit to a date. You have your answer. You have politely called their bluff, and while it may create a moment of mild awkwardness, it provides you with definitive clarity, saving you weeks of wondering. So, to recap our session today, we have learned that in elite British social contexts, the preservation of social harmony often trumps direct honesty. We have identified the trinity of tells for spotting a ghost invitation: the simply modifier, the sometime clause, and the lack of reciprocal inquiry. We have practiced the vocal technique of aristocratic understatement to convey authority, and we have armed ourselves with 3 tactical responses: the polite retreat, the power move, and the test. Navigating these elite social circles, and indeed mastering the nuances of the English language for your exams, is not just about vocabulary, it's about strategy. It is about understanding the deeper game being played beneath the surface of the words. If you found this strategic session valuable, please consider subscribing to join our exclusive community of scholars. Together, we are decoding the language of power. I'm Grace, and I'll see you in our next session. Cheers.